guys, welcome back to Jordan, Jules, and Just
Reddit. I'm Jordan.
I'm Jules.
And this is Just
Reddit. That's our ending. Anyway, today we have some very good stories lined up for you. We're doing an Am I the Asshole?
Ooh, yeah. Jules, how have you been? It's been a whole week.
I know. I've been really good, Jordan. How have you been?
Could be better.
No changes.
I have some bruises on my arm.
For what?
From last episode.
Oh my god. And he's gonna have some
Nobody believes me.
He's fine.
Even with video evidence.
He's taken care of.
Anywho, we have an exciting lineup for you guys tonight. I'm Jordan, and I'm going to be reading some Just Reddit right now. Am I the butthole for asking my upstairs neighbors not to wake us up with loud, aggressive hugging in the middle of the night? I've been woken up several times, keeping me up for hours. Their bed creaks, bangs against the floor, plus they moan loudly. I wrote a note asking them to try to keep it down when doing it in the middle of the night. I am a student and I work early. She said she would tighten the bed's screws, but that because we live in an old building, we're gonna hear neighbors from time to time. I've lived in an old apartment before and know this. However, I feel that means trying to respect the complex's quiet times, 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. on weekdays. I don't mind noise outside these times, but being woken up on a regular basis is a complete lack of respect and clear violation of the rules. I've since been woken up many times, even multiple times in a night. I wrote again saying it's still a problem and I really don't like to be that neighbor that complains all the time. But I have to sleep. I've also tried to speak to her, but she was dismissive and said it wasn't her. I went into the hallway the next time I was woken up to see if I was mistaken even though it seemed obvious it was coming from directly above me. I could hear them as soon as I opened my door and barely needed to walk upstairs to be sure it was her. I'm impressed no one has complained. I wrote a note again. Dude, 3 notes. Jesus Christ.
And who is aggressively hugging every night, all hours?
Yo, some
Multiple
people
nights.
regular, bro. Some people regular.
I wrote a note saying I was now sure that it was her and that if they don't stop, I would contact the board that runs the building so we can find a solution together. She responded she felt surveillanced and that her aggressive hugging life was nothing to do with me and none of my business. I agree, but she's the one making it my business being so loud. She's also said that going out into the hallway to check was too far, and she now feels uncomfortable in her own place. I understand, but I felt the need to check if I was in the wrong, and of course, don't want to falsely accuse her. We both contacted the board, who responded in a shared email that it's a difficult situation because it has to do with such important things, such as sleep and the sideways shuffle. And, to my surprise, didn't tell them to keep it down. While I agree both are important, sleep is a necessity, your studying and work won't be ruined by not having loud bed conga. I'm not stopping them from having the physical relations. Just want them to consider others. Since the email, it seemed like they were trying to keep quiet. I've not been woken up nearly as much. Until last night when I woken up at 2 a.m. by them again. Damn. I was almost back to sleep when they started again at 3. After this, it sounded like they were dragging furniture across the floor and it was clear they're not even trying to be quiet. I don't know what to say / do as I feel they just don't care. I feel like the board...
It wasn't secure. Jordan made me move it because when he was editing, the auto editing was going to Elvis Presley's face, and
He clearly wants to be a member of the podcast.
so I put it on the ceiling. I'll fix that.
I don't know what to do / say/do, as I feel they just don't care. I feel like the board don't want to tell them to be quiet of the activity, making it awkward. But if I have loud conversations and stomping on the floor at night to the point of waking up my neighbors multiple times, I don't feel they would have the same response and they would tell me to be quiet. The only difference is the source of the noise. Am I the butthole?
No.
My question is that how is she responding back to this person? Is she also writing notes?
They're doing it Morse code
Yeah.
with the bed banging.
I mean, she's like, I get what she's saying, like her sexual, or can I say that?
Yeah.
Okay, her sexual like life or whatever is no one's business. But at the same time, if you're making it so loud, you're making it other people's business.
Yep.
Like this is not a public place, but it's a public building.
Pretty much a public place.
Yeah.
Like if you know that your neighbors are complaining to you multiple times and you yourself haven't gone out to make a change, you know, like it's your fault.
Yeah.
Because you're now conscious that other people know. Mm-hmm. And yet you continue to do it.
Yeah.
So I would say OP, 0 out of 5. The neighbor, 3 out of 5.
Yeah, because he's not even being like a jerk about it.
Yeah.
Like he's wrote her multiple letters.
I was going to say
talked to her.
letters. It would be different if it was like,
Yeah, dude, can you imagine? Barking at her.
all four starts hopping around in the hallway.
Puts the tail on.
But yeah, anywho, OP, 0 out of 5. Neighbor, 3 out of 5.
What's the verdict?
The final verdict, butthole.
What?
Yep.
That
Judge.
makes no sense.
I don't know what all this is. Judgment, not the butthole, 57%. Yes, the butthole, 34. Not, 3. English, 3. Info, 2%.
What? I don't get that graph. But okay.
I don't know, but there's no comments.
That might be a best of Reddit or something, because that's where I found those.
Interesting.
So they're like reposts.
Yeah. Very interesting, very interesting. Jules, please serenade us with your wonderful, beautiful
Guys, I'm
reading voice.
trying to get better at reading. Or am
I want you to know, we do have finger cam.
Am I gonna make fun of?
Oh my god, is that what that is?
Yes.
Secretly,
cam.
yes.
I knew it. Jordan's always preying on my downfall.
Yes.
Okay. Am I the for telling the whole family about my cousins having intercourse with her boyfriend? My 19 male family has a house to use collectively on the weekends, with every family nucleus having their own room. The only exception is a room on the second floor with 2 double beds, used only when my cousins from another state come over with their partners, usually twice a year, leaving the room vacant most of the time and free for me to use. As my sleeping schedule is very fricked up, and sorry Mrs. Hughes for cussing, by the way, I was informed that she doesn't appreciate it. Thank you for the $5 for my birthday. My sleeping schedule is very messed up, and I can stay there chilling/working during the night without anyone disturbing me. My cousin Mary, 21 female, never slept there until she got a boyfriend, Lou, 18 male.
Lou.
Cougar. What? Yeah.
Louis?
It's probably like Louis, yeah, but people call him Lou. I don't know. Her room has a bunk bed, so they can fit there. But as they don't have many options to sleep together, they live in. Oh, whatever, same thing. They live in different cities. In parentheses, she started sleeping upstairs too. What? Wait, what did I say? Did I say chances or something?
No, you said options.
Options to sleep together. Options, opportunities. You know.
No.
Are you gonna interrupt me?
No, I'm sorry.
Let it slide.
Please, I'm sliding.
The issue started one night at 5 a.m. I was watching something with my laptop on my bed, blocking my face from their view. I guess they took it as me being asleep and started going at it. They were quiet, but it still made me very uncomfortable. So I just stayed put until they were done and went back to sleep. The actual event happened last Friday. We got there during the afternoon. Mary and Lou went out and and I stayed in the room on the second floor as always. They got home around 12 a.m. I said I'd be still up on my laptop for a while, and jokingly, but not quite so, told them that if I woke up to them effing, I'd make a scene and tell everyone. We laughed and they went to bed. I went to sleep a little earlier than usual, around 3 a.m., as I barely slept the day before trying to fix my college schedule, only to wake up around 5 a.m. with their bed creaking. Couldn't go back to sleep and just stayed there. Can I say pissed?
Yeah.
Pissed, staring at the ceiling until they were done. The next day, I woke up late, around 1 p.m. My mom called me downstairs for lunch, and when I went down with everyone, my parents, my uncle, my cousin's mom, my grandma, Mary, and Lou, was acting annoyed at me for waking up so late. I know most of them were kidding, but my parents definitely weren't. So I apologized and said I couldn't sleep because, in parentheses, some people were under the impression that they were at a love hostel or hotel last night. Mary yelled at me and went to her mother's room crying, and Lou went after her. My aunt was fuming and said it wasn't my place to expose her daughter's intimate life, especially in front of so many family members. My parents were mostly mad about me creating drama. My uncle just laughed, and I think Grandma didn't even hear it, as she just kept knitting and only looked up to ask if there was any dessert left.
Damn, Grandma.
Solid. Staying out of the drama. Mary refused to talk to me for the rest of the day, but didn't move her stuff from the room we were sharing, and neither did I, as I didn't believe that what I did was wrong, having warned them about what I'd do if they broke. The one very reasonable boundary that I set. My mom is still furious and saying she didn't raise me like that, even though I still feel like they got away with breaking my boundaries. Is this a normal thing people do? Am I that a-hole for maybe overreacting and telling everyone about it?
Go ahead and read that out loud.
The final verdict is not the a-hole. I kind of think they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wouldn't say like a 3, but I'd say like a 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Because the boundary they set was an offhanded joke comment, and not like an actual like, hey, like I know you guys are doing this and I'd appreciate it like if you did it when I wasn't in the room, or not trying to make me like, not trying to keep me up. But the fact that it was just an offhanded comment and wasn't really addressed with Mary and Lou, which also sounds like fake names because Mary Lou.
Mary Lou.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like I'd give OP a 1 or 2. 1.5. And then I'd give Mary and Lou, I'd give them a 3. Because be respectful.
That's weird. With your cousins in there? Come on.
Yeah, in the room with like...
But even though, it was not really a clear boundary. Like, it was a joke. Like, no one expects you to actually announce that you were having aggressive hugging in the middle of the family dinner, like breakfast, or family breakfast, Like, it's...
unsolicited information that nobody wanted.
And, not to mention, as soon as, like, I
Wait, they were outright telling everybody that they were?
Well, OP was like... Sorry I didn't get much sleep last night, somewhere under the impression that they were at a love hotel last night. In the middle of the breakfast table. Which, like I said, I think that's going a little far. And when it was happening, too, like, I get it's very awkward and you're probably, like, you might kind of freeze up. Mm-hmm. But as soon as you start hearing that, you could just be like, yo, guys, like, I'm awake.
Yeah.
Or just walk out of the room pissed off and then have a conversation about it later. Like, I think it was kind of...
I feel like Mary and Lou weren't made aware that OP knew.
Even though it was inappropriate for them to do that. Yeah. Asleep or not, I think it's weird.
So once again, OP, 1.5, and then Mary and Lou, 3.
I second.
All right, on to our third story for the night. Am I the butthole for asking my friend to give back a gift I gave her after she openly expressed that she would be getting rid of it? Never get rid of something that somebody gives you. I, 27 female, have been friends with this girl. We'll call her Mary. I wonder if there's any relation
There's a
to that
trend.
story. Mary, 28 female, since high school. Recently, I was back in our hometown and she invited me to her birthday brunch to celebrate her 28th B-day. One day on my way home, I happened to stumble across an estate sale where I found a set of really nice crystal champagne glasses that were in really good condition and cheaper than they're worth. Mary lives a high-quality, fancy lifestyle, so I thought they would be perfect for her, especially because they were within my budget. At the time, I had been recovering from student loans and just put down a deposit on my first apartment in the city, so they are dirt broke. That's basically what she's getting at. Fast forward to the brunch. We had a really good time, and I got to catch up with Mary and other friends from high school. Mary was eager to open her presents, and when she got to mine, she seemed to enjoy them, asking me where I got them since there was no label. I explained that I didn't know the brand, but the person running the estate sale had assured me that they were all authentic and had been a wedding gift to the previous owners. At the mention of an estate sale, Mary becomes visibly disgusted. Although she didn't say anything to my face, she was very passive-aggressive towards me for the rest of the afternoon. I overheard her whispering to some of her other guests about how I had the audacity to give her a used item and that she would be discarding them later. After the event was over, I approached her privately, not wanting to make a scene, and asked that if she wasn't going to use the glasses, if she could give them back to me, as I would put them to good use and know their quality. She flipped out and told me it was extremely rude to ask for them back, and it was not my business what she did with them. My family is understanding and thinks I did nothing wrong, but some mutual friends also at the event think otherwise. So, am I the a-hole?
Yeah.
Elaborate.
Wait, okay, so
She's gonna throw them out anyways.
yeah. And that's just like, I don't know, the friend, what is it, Mary? Or is that her?
Mary's the friend.
Mary, yeah. Mary sounds like a label, something starting with a W.
Materialistic lady.
Yes. A very materialistic lady. Stuck-up lady. And you don't say that when someone's in earshot of saying you're going to throw them away. That's just tacky.
That's something you do with no verbal communication after the party.
Some things can be left unsaid.
What?
I mean, he's right. Like, if you're going to throw it away, fine. Or, like, give it to someone else. Like, re-gift it. Just do it. Don't say it.
Yeah, re-gift it.
Yeah, re-gift it, if anything. But the fact that she, like, verbalized it confirms that she wants people to know that, like, I'm too good for this. Like, how dare someone give me a gift like this?
These are garbo.
It's ungrateful.
Yep.
Very ungrateful.
So, OP, I would do 0 out of 5. The girl, 3 out of 5. A lot of 3 out of 5s from me today.
Yeah.
Feeling kind of in the middle kind of road.
Yeah.
3 out of 5.
3 out of 5.
All right. Jules, please, my ears are begging for your wonderful voice to read the next story.
That was a lot of sarcasm.
No sarcasm.
All right. And this is kind of a shorter one, guys, so you're welcome from me.
We know you bought your ticket for the whole seat, but you're only gonna need the edge. So take it away.
All right. Am I the a-hole for telling my friend to stop farting during our workouts at the gym?
Yes. Let them fart in peace.
I go to the gym every day with a friend, and over the past few days, we've been working out together. He's been busting a few gnarly... He's been busting a few gnarly farts, and at first, I let it slide since he said he couldn't help it, but eventually, it started to bother me. I like the guy, but I've become more direct lately, mentioning that no one wants to smell his ass. I'm not trying to be bombed out of my workout, and I can literally catch his scent whether we're on the treadmill or lifting weights. It's even worse when I get on the machine after he farts because the smell lingers. It's just unpleasant. What's even more embarrassing is that I'm worried others might think it's me. I don't want to be blamed for someone else's discomfort be blamed for someone else's discomfort because they're smelling his farts around the gym. I said it's too easy to excuse himself to the bathroom, but I guess that's too much to ask. I don't want my friend to hold his farts and be uncomfortable, but I just find it inconsiderate. I guess I could do my own workouts, but I'm still worried someone will say something to him about it. I don't want him to be embarrassed. Maybe I already embarrassed him by calling it out. I just want him to stop doing it in public while we're working out. Is that so much to ask? Is that so much to ask to go somewhere private?
No, you're fine. Common human decency is to at least like 15 feet away, like mosey 15 feet and then go from there. And or if it's like a smaller gym, just go use the bathroom.
No, for real.
Like go use the bathroom.
I wonder if he's like pooping or if he's like
sharding.
It's just like gas. You need some gas X, bro.
I mean, I could just imagine coming back up from a squat and using that little bit of gas to help push you over.
No, and oh my God, spotting. Oh, no, but it is like.
Yo, imagine you're benching and he's spotting you.
Yes, that's what I'm referring to. And it is true. Like if that smell lingers, other people probably do think it's you too.
Yes.
The stinky twins.
I'd be like, God damn, those two reek.
Yeah. I wonder if this is another dude.
Yeah, that's what I wasn't sure about. If it's two guys,
that
makes more sense. But if it's like a chick that wrote this.
Not to be sexist, but I feel like a guy would be a lot more aggressive. Not aggressive, you know what I'm saying. I don't know,
more
maybe not.
forward and blunt to tell him to
like
stop.
aggressive with it. Like, yo, dude, like, stop effing doing this, you know? It sounds like a girl.
Could you imagine if, like, that's his crush and, like, they're working out together and he just keeps gassing it up?
I don't think so, because he's direct about it. He's like, I can't help it. It's not even like he, like, tries to deflect and be like, oh, that's not me. Poor dude. Well, I hope you get your gastrointestinal stuff figured out.
Maybe he has some IBS.
No, for real.
Get it checked out. Am I the butthole for siding with my 28 male, SIL, 34 female, over my wife, 26 female? My wife is a beautiful, hard-working woman who has a high education and a solid career. We were college sweethearts and have been married 2 years. We own a house together, we both have master's degrees, and careers that we've worked hard for. We're currently trying for a baby as we're ready to take things to the next step in our lives. From what I've gathered from my in-laws, my wife's older sister is her half-sibling. They have the same father, but grew up in different households. After their father's infidelity in his first marriage with my SIL's mom, her parents divorced, and then sister-in-law, father-in-law. That's what okay, that makes more sense. You didn't get that? No. I just thought they misspelled words. My father-in-law remarried and had my wife and his new wife. I heard my sister-in-law grew up in poverty with her mother in a rundown area and saw my father-in-law on weekends. My wife's parents, father-in-law and mother-in-law, are very educated and have solid careers as well. My wife grew up in a 2-parent household in the suburbs. Apparently my sister-in-law is also disabled. I'm a very empathetic person and was curious to know what happened, so I gently brought it up to my sister-in-law during an outdoor family get-together. She confirmed it was all true and went into further detail. She had multiple surgeries for a medical condition, was bullied in school, almost died twice, and her mother was poor and struggling, etc., etc. Despite her degree, she's been trying to get employed for years and has used temp agencies, but she has employers terminate her as soon as she requests accommodations, so she's been off and on government assistance for years. She's also medically sterile, so apparently she's been in therapy for over 10 years at the point where my sister-in-law started tearing up, so I ended the conversation and apologized for asking. Later on at home, when I brought up the conversations to my wife, she immediately goes on to say that her sister has a tendency to play the victim. She needs to be patient, work harder, etc., etc. After getting to know my sister-in-law more, though, I'm even more grateful for what I have. My wedding with my wife has paid for by our family. We have solid careers that we both got right out of college. We're in great health, and we have a bunch of friends, and we're never bullied in school. When I brought up that I'm so thankful that we're so fortunate, my wife immediately got defensive and goes on about hard work, not to let the past define you. Anyone can make it if they try hard enough, etc. Dude, this person loves etceteras. I've never seen a side of her before. While I acknowledge we're both worked very hard to get where we are, I gently told her we do have our parents and upbringing to thank for that. She snapped at me. She's a licensed counselor, but I honestly thought she would be more empathetic to her own family member who's been through so much. I definitely would. Thankfully, my siblings never went through that, but I couldn't even imagine if they did. Am I the butthole for taking my sister-in-law's side over my wife's? Edit. Thank you for the replies, and sorry for any confusion. What I left out is what confused me the most is I'm hearing things from my other in-laws that match up with what my sister-in-law said. Basically, it's my wife's word against my sister-in-law, father-in-law, brother-in-law, mother-in-law, etc. My sister-in-law is also apparently low contact with father-in-law, and father-in-law doesn't know why. It's all confusing to me.
No.
The verdict, not enough info.
Yeah. I mean, that is true. But at the same time, your wife sounds like a female dog.
Yeah. But that just sounds like two... I have a lot of siblings. I got a brother and two sisters. This just sounds like normal sibling arguing over who said what, this happened this, that happened that, so...
What do you mean?
Like, this just sounds like two siblings butting head about something. So, I agree with the verdict that there's not enough info for me to form a decision, because I need to know if she actually grew up like that, and if she's playing the victim or stuff. Like, I need
That's
evidence.
True. So,
evidence.
If we want to assume that all this stuff really did happen, like she was telling the truth, I'm going to say not the a-hole. Mm-hmm. If we're assuming that she's fabricating and she always like has been in a victim mindset, I don't know. Yeah, not
enough info.
But at the same time, like I said, and again, assuming that she wasn't fabricating and genuinely went through some really horrible things. Just your wife, the way that she's approaching it is like she sounds like the most unempathetic.
Very childish.
Yeah, the most
Even though they
person.
mentioned that she was a counselor. Very childish.
Very weird.
Yeah. But yeah, not enough info, no scores for anybody. Well, dear viewers, I hope you've enjoyed this. But, hold it! Don't swipe away from the video just yet.
I don't think they were going to.
We have one more story. Jules is going to use her golden pipes and read us off. Jules, hit it!
Am I the a-hole for... Nothing's good enough for him.
Ooh.
The whole time during setup, he makes
Jordan
fun of
hate.
me.
Jordan hate. What about Jordan love?
No love for Jordan.
That's why almost just try to shoot me. You've been hitting me.
Okay.
Yeah, during setup, as she mentioned, I'm working my butt off, putting this all together. Meanwhile, she sits there, kicks her feet up, and starts twiddling them in the air.
I asked him if he wanted help, and he said, pop a squat and kick your feet up, and I said,
done.
say less.
When I was done. Anywho, please,
So
viewers,
cool
Jules, hit it.
Am I the a-hole for asking a date where he is from? Okay. Am I the a-hole? Repost because it got deleted. Throw away because I don't use Reddit, just lurking. I want to preface this by saying two things. I'm not a native English speaker, so I apologize for any weird phrases or wrong words. Second, and important to the story, I am legally blind. I have RP, retinitis pigmentosa. Yeah,
good enough.
And in addition, -4 on both eyes. Woo! I don't know what that means.
Blind as a bat.
Okay. I am able
That's
to...
what I am.
Oh! So like Kate, blind as a bat.
Blind as a bat.
I'm able to type this with both the speech-to-text function and other various helping functions. In real life, I wear a cane. That's kind of weird. Okay, I guess, yeah. I wear a cane, but otherwise I'm independent. Now, I say this not as an excuse, but to justify and underline my side of this story. I, female 24, recently started dating for the first time. I didn't know how to get into it, so my friend suggested her putting me up on a blind date.
Wow.
And I, what? Oh, haha.
They're blind date.
And I agreed. She gave me his, male 26, name, and we agreed to when and where to meet. It was a nice and warm day, although a little snowy, so I decided to get there a little early in case it would be hard for me to navigate. I found the restaurant, in parentheses, I've been there before, and sat down at the book table. The guy shows up and we start chatting. I pick up a slight accent and ask where he's from. Now here is where I might be the a-hole due to my phrasing. He laughs and tells me he's local, and I giggle and push it a little more, saying, in parentheses, haha, no, I can tell you're not from here. The guy stops laughing, silently gets up, and leaves. I'm confused and sit there for a few minutes waiting in case I misunderstood the situation and he went to the water closet or something. But he doesn't come back, so I pay for the drinks and cancel the food before getting up and walking out. I call the friend who set us up once I'm home, and she tells me he thought you acted like such an I was apparently rude as F, racist, and was looking at anything but him during the conversation. I think they prefaced that she was blind, though. I am so confused. The last part I can understand, as me being blind makes it hard to understand what I'm looking at, but the rest leaves me super confused. Here's where I could be the a-hole. My friend also explained to me in our call that he is from the same country as me, in parentheses, although from the part where they also speak another language, but he is dark-skinned and adopted from birth. Have I accidentally said something racist? Am I the asshole? Too long, didn't read. I was racist and don't understand why.
I was called racist.
I was called racist and don't understand why.
I don't think he knew that she was blind.
Really? That is definitely something your friend should have mentioned.
Because I'm sure that that all could have been cleared up if he knew that she was blind.
What the F is she looking at? What's your name? Oh my god. Well, no,
No, all she knew was his name. So I'm assuming all he knew was her name.
That friend kind of sucks.
Yes.
That's something you should definitely mention.
All right, OP, 0 out of 5. Guy, 0 out of 5. Friend, 4 out of 5.
Whoa,
that
really?
That is messed up. That is messed
I
up.
wouldn't. Okay, maybe she just didn't occur to her. Maybe she loves her friend so much that she didn't even realize she was blind.
4 out of 5.
3 out of 5.
Oh, wait, let me preference. 4 out of 5 for the friend.
Yeah.
OP and the dude. Actually, no.
Misunderstanding.
Dude,
yeah.
I'll give it 2.
Yes.
Because he should have.
I'm gonna go with a 3 on the dude. You don't just walk up and get out and get like what?
Without saying anything, especially on a blind person. That's messed up.
Even though he didn't know she was blind.
Still messed up. But anywho, Jules, that's all we got for today.
What a hell of an episode. I feel like we had some good stories.
I feel like we did have some good stories. Some laughs.
Some cries.
Some cries.
Where's he going?
Some love. Or lack there was.
Yeah. Poor Jordan.
But anywho, final words.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And if you made it to the end, comment a cane.
Comment what you think about Jules' pajamas.
Oh yeah, we were gonna do a pajama edition, but Jordan said that his pajamas...
I sleep in my underwear.
Yeah, so I was like, please
and
come
I'm not
close.
showing up on underwear.
But here's my
Check
pajamas.
out Jordan's OnlyFans.
What do we think?
It's giving Christmas.
Yes. I love Christmas.
It's giving it and serving Christmas.
Serving.
But anywho, thank you all so much for watching. I
Thanks,
hope
guys.
you were entertained for the last...
Yeah, how long is this?
38 minutes?
Really? I feel like this would have been short.
No! 38 minutes on the dot! We go off of that because I start these early, but it might not even be that in post. But anywho, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. And we will see you in the next episode of Jordan, Jules, and Just Ready.
I've been Jules.
I was Jordan, and this happened to be Reddit. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye!